Hi, I'm Maricopa County Supervisor Debbie Lesko, and today the chairman of the Board of Supervisors and myself wrote a letter to Justin Heap inviting him to structured meetings so that we can hammer out the differences we have with each other. I sure hope that he will respond and say yes. We need to work this out for the benefit of the voters and to have smooth, fair, safe elections and prioritize election integrity.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about the story out of Maricopa County in Arizona, where the board of electors they're in the midst of a legal battle with the recorder of Maricopa County. Now, this guy's new, and everybody's calling him election denier because he believes that he should have a right to know where these ballot boxes are going, which if you look at the law in Arizona, that is true. We're going to be showing you that law and also the response that the Maricopa County has when it comes to the board of electors to his letter he sent to them threatening to prosecute them.
We'd appreciate if you'd subscribe, like, and share. It's totally free, costs nothing, and it's a huge boost to the channel. Criminal liability under Arizona Revised Statute 16-1005. Most troubling is the criminal exposure that the board's proposed resolution creates for the board itself and for any employees who participate in establishing or staffing unauthorized drop boxes. Section 16 provides that a person or entity that knowingly solicits the collection of voted or unvoted ballots by misrepresenting itself as an election official or as an official ballot repository, or is found to be serving as a ballot drop-off site other than those established and staffed by election officials, is guilty of a Class 5 felony. If the board establishes drop boxes during early voting without statutory authority to do so, that is, without the recorder's designation and approval under the statute, then those drop boxes are being misrepresented as an official ballot repository and are serving as ballot drop-off sites other than those established and staffed by election officials within the meaning of subsection E. The recorder is the election official with statutory authority to establish early voting locations. Drop boxes established by the board in contravention of the recorder's exclusive authority are not established by election officials. They are established by a body that lacks legal authority to do so. Any person or entity involved in establishing or operating such unauthorized drop boxes is committing a Class 5 felony.
All right, guys, now we're going to go to this video where the Board of Supervisors is looking at the letter that he sent to them, the recorder, when it has to do with these unauthorized mail-in drop-off boxes and what he'll do to them, also to the employees that will take ballots in there and try to count them. So let's go ahead and take a look at the video.
And parts of it I want to quote. It says, if the board establishes drop boxes during early voting without statutory authority to do so, it says any person or entity involved in establishing or operating such unauthorized drop boxes is committing a Class 5 felony. The lawyer in this letter is threatening to criminally charge temporary election workers for merely doing their duty.
This is not the first time that the Board of Supervisors have been threatened with criminal action, but this is the first time that I can recall of our own employees and volunteers being threatened with criminal penalties, not only in Maricopa County, but in Arizona and the United States of America. This is shocking and appalling.
Now we have a county recorder at the 11th hour sends us this threatening letter, and then doesn't have the courage to come out and defend it. He's just being a coward, just a straight up coward. He will threaten us and in volunteers of a felony, and then not want to come in front and to try to explain or listen to some of the concerns. Just shows you how incompetent he is. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's purposely wanting to do that. He wants the 2026 election to fail, and he's doing everything he can to do it.
I had a conversation with the recorder last night. I had 24 hours from the time this hit exec session to when we got to here at 9:30 this morning to have a conversation about him. You know what I found out in that conversation? He's fine with 1. He's fine with 2. He just wants to be able to have some say and approval in where the early voting locations go, because in his mind, the statute gives him the authority to approve those things. Now, that's all of that could have been solved with a simple phone call. Everybody's got to get better. And so as I've been from the very beginning, we have got to be focused on solutions, and it's just deteriorating further. And that's why I have my own attorney.
All right, guys, this new recorder that they have there, he got elected in 2024. He replaced Stephen Richter. Now, if you remember what Stephen Richter was like, he pretty much let anything go. He didn't care all that much. He allowed the Democrats to do whatever they want to do in that election, including when it comes to the board of supervisors and everybody else that was part of that board. And so this guy's coming in there and he's saying, look, I have the ability to decide where stuff is going. Okay, you guys don't have that ability. If you want to put something there, you got to ask for my permission to put that there. And if you do put it there without my permission, then those votes don't count. And legally, he's right. And these guys have never been challenged when it comes to the power that they have. So now that's the reason they're getting upset and losing their mind over what's happening here, because this guy is asserting what he believes is right, which I agree with him. He wants election integrity. He wants these ballots to actually be real and be consequential. And unfortunately, when it comes to Arizona elections, most of the time that happens, especially in Maricopa County, a lot of fraud happens there. And he's trying to stop that from happening in this next midterm.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Stephen Richter was a complete disaster and allowed all sorts of fraud. And we read the statute. The recorder has the constitutional authority to decide where drop boxes might be put. And he's just basically telling them, if you do it and you don't get my permission, we're not counting those votes and people are going to be charged with crimes. And look at the way that board of supervisors is losing their mind. Look at it's state law. There's nothing to argue with here.
Yeah, if they want to change it, they need to actually get the House and Senate and the state to change it. And right now, they don't have the time to do that. So you're going to have to play ball, in my opinion. They want him to come to them and play ball with them. And I'm like this, no, he's the one that has the right to decide where these ballot boxes are going to be, not you. And, you know, like I said before, this is them being upset because they're being challenged about what their power really is. All right, guys, this is the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed. Please hit that like button, comment, and share this out to everybody.
Thanks for being here.